Hey everybody, my name is Zach, aka SPAC Zach here, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Now the purpose of my channel is to try and uncover, shed light, and present all the SPACs that are out there because there are so many, it's hard to keep up with. So that's my goal here, is to try and document and really present all these different plays, because I definitely think there's a couple home runs that we could get into. And I really just want to bring these to light to help friends and family. Now, please note that I am not a financial advisor. Please do your own due diligence before purchasing any of these stocks. This is for entertainment purposes only. And then if any of you guys are new investors or looking for a new broker, whatever it might be, something with extended trading hours, pre and post market, feel free to check out the link in my description to my Webull. They're offering 2 free stocks if you deposit $100, worth up to $1,850. So definitely check that out. Also, if you don't know, I'm a licensed health and life insurance agent as well. I have a CleverRX prescription card linked down in the description as well. So feel free to check that out if you're looking for savings on your prescription, whether you have insurance or not. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. SPAC Zach here, bringing you another episode. Today we'll be covering ticker FTCV. That's FinTech Acquisition Corp 5, who will be merging with eToro. Okay, so let's take a look at eToro's vision and mission. So for their vision is to be opening the global markets for everyone to trade and invest in a simple and transparent way. Now, as for their mission is to be building the world's largest social trading network to empower people to trade and invest in stocks, cryptocurrencies, and global markets. Copy top traders and get copied. Now let's take a quick look at the leadership team. So on the FinTech Acquisition Corp side, you got Chairman of the Board Betsy Cohen, who has over 40 years of experience. Now she's actually leading a couple other SPACs, one that I just previously covered, Payoneer. And now on the eToro side, we've got co-founder and CEO Yanni Asya, as well as Ronan Asya. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, so I do apologize. Now, I really like the fact that the founders are also the CEO and executive directors. Now, anytime you come across a company that has a founding father or a founder leading the company, they always have more drive, more passion, and a better vision typically for the company to take it to where they really expect it to go. Now, eToro believes that they created a new category and they're actually dominating it. So the next generation of retail and social trading platforms offer effective means for individuals to share or sell their investment expertise, directly competing with traditional investment managers. Now, that's from the World Economic Forum. Now, feel free to pause the video and take a quick look at their global footprint. So eToro has a growing community of investors who connect and learn from each other. Now, this is a little graph showing the number of registered users. So registered users have access to free virtual accounts, allowing them to practice their investing skills. Now, these are typically called paper trading accounts. So if you go on Webull, you can set up a paper trading account that way as well. Now, once they have acquired confidence, they can then progress to investing actual capital. All right, so let's take a look at the strong momentum they believe will continue into 2021. Now, taking a look here, you can see the number of monthly registrations. Now, that's about triple of what they got back in 2020, just in January of 2021 alone. Now, the average monthly trades have also greatly increased by almost 3 times in January alone. And now you can see that the cost per registration has dropped. So these are all great signs that you want to see from an emerging, up-and-coming company. eToro believes that they have a huge and growing total addressable market supported by secular trends. So the total world wealth invested in equities is $78 trillion. That's just an incredible number, with roughly 20% of the market share for digital platforms. Now, taking a look here, you can see that the digital platforms increase market share by offering acceleration of digital transformation. Now, there are 72 million millennials, which is the largest generation in U.S. history. And then $30 trillion will be passed from the US boomers to their heirs. So a lot of these millennials are going to be, inheriting a lot of money from, their grandparents, their parents, and so on. And now taking a look at their total addressable market growth, it's driven by growth, retail participation, zero interest rates, as well as democratization of investing. So now that crypto is going mainstream, eToro is seeing an increased adoption of crypto assets from financial institutions and corporates. eToro is well positioned to benefit from the expanding crypto market. So I really like eToro's product that they have to offer, considering that you're able to trade by yourself. You can copy other successful investors by basically mimicking and auto purchasing exactly what they purchase. And you can also invest in smart portfolios, which kind of remind me of ETFs in a way, in the fact that they're made up of, some really good companies that you can go through, check it out. If you like that little smart portfolio, you can invest in that. So let's take a look at some of their popular investors. Now, the value of the popular investor for them is able to earn as you attract more copiers and gather more assets. Popular investors offer global exposure and reputation building, as well as dedicated performance monitoring tools. And then the value for the copier they see is to be able to copy top performing investors with no management fees, and the performance and risk is monitored by eToro. Now 51% of average return of popular investors. Now the average return of popular investors in 2020 was 51%, which is pretty solid. I mean, considering the fact that, the market was down quite a bit and then rallied like we've never seen before, but that's still a very good number. Now, taking a look at the smart portfolios, eToro believes that today people want to invest in ideas they feel passionate about. eToro has developed a one-of-a-kind investment product to support this demand, smart portfolios. These ready-made strategic portfolios make it easy for anyone, from active traders to passive investors, to buy into thoroughly researched, diversified, smart market opportunities. Now taking a look at eToro Money. So in line with eToro's goal of creating a holistic customer experience, this year in 2021, they plan to introduce an eToro debit card, which will connect directly to a customer's account and enable instant deposit and withdrawal, along with additional services. And now taking a look at building the eToro global brand, you can see these are just some little snippets or bits from some of their commercials. I see their advertisements all over YouTube and TV. One of their more popular ones is the Sloth one, where you got the trader Steve, who spends all of his time researching all these stocks, and then you got the Sloth over here that set up the copy tool. So instead of spending all the time that Steve does researching stocks, Sloth just sleeps all day, copies Steve, and still makes out the same amount of profit in terms of percentage that Steve does. So here's something that's pretty promising. For 2020, their marketing spend is expected to return more than 4.5 times that in revenue. All right, so let's take a look at how eToro generates revenue. You can see that 87% of their revenue comes from trading revenue. So the trading revenue includes the spread, which is the difference between the buy and sell prices of a certain asset, and it is charged when a new trade is opened. Trading revenues derived from equities, crypto, and contracts for difference. In terms of their interest income, margin positions that stay open overnight incur a small fee relative to the value of the position. This is essentially an interest payment to cover the cost of the margin used overnight. Now, margin's basically like taking out credit. Now, with any type of credit, you're going to pay an interest rate. So that's pretty much what that is. And then you also got the currency conversion and other incomes. Okay, so taking a look at some financials here, you can see that between 2016 and 2020, they saw a 78% compounded annual growth rate in their revenue. And now for their financial projections between 2025, we can see that in 2021, they're expecting revenue growth of about 68% year over year. Now, fast forward to 2025, they're still expecting a modest 28%. Now, taking a look at their margin, you can see this year they're not expecting too high of margins, only about 2%. Now, come 2025, they do expect their profit margins to reach about 32.5% to 33%. And looking at the one-day chart, you can see we started the day off pretty flat, a little bit of consolidation maybe, traded sideways for a little bit. Then around lunchtime, we got a nice spike and then a little bit of a pullback, healthy pullback. And then we got another spike here going into the power hour around 3 o'clock, and we finished the day up about 4.3%, finishing around $11.98. And last but not least, taking a look at the 3-month chart, you can see we traded pretty sideways for the most part for quite a period of time since it went IPO on January 25th. And then we got that initial spike upon the news of the merger. And then ever since then, we've seen a decline. And I think this sets up an amazing buying opportunity considering we are pretty low to that compared to that IPO pricing. Now, like I always say, with these SPACs, it's best to get in, closest to the IPO pricing. That way you're really limiting your risk pre-merger. Now, in terms of a price prediction, I could definitely see this SPAC getting up to maybe, $30 to $40 by year end if we have a fairly good market here. Now, in terms of a longer price prediction, this could easily be, $100 stock within the next 3 to 5 years. And now this SPAC is set to merge in the third quarter of 2021. Now, folks, if you enjoyed today's episode, please consider liking, subscribing, commenting down below what you think about eToro, as well as making sure to ring that bell. That way you never miss another episode. And for any of you new to the channel, please consider heading over to my channel and checking out all the other SPACs that I've already covered.